Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 8, Book 76, number 566. Narrated by Newman. I heard the Prophet saying, "The person who will have the least punishment from amongst the hell-fire people on the day of resurrection will be a man under whose arch of the feet a smoldering ember will be placed so that his brain will boil because of it." Volume 8, Book 76, number 567. Narrated by Nu'man bin Bashir. I heard the Prophet saying, "The least punished person of the hell-fire people on the day of resurrection will be a man under whose arch of the feet 2 smoldering embers will be placed, because of which his brain will boil just like al-merjal, copper vessel, or a kum, narrow-necked vessel, is boiling with water." Volume 8, Book 76, number 568. Narrated by Adi bin Hatim. The Prophet mentioned the fire and turned his face aside and asked for Allah's protection from it. And then again he mentioned the fire and turned his face aside and asked for Allah's protection from it and said, "Protect yourselves from the hell-fire, even if with 1/2 of a date, and he who cannot afford that, then let him do so by saying a good, pleasant word." Volume 8, Book 76, number 569. Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. I heard Allah's apostles when his uncle, Abu Talib, had been mentioned in his presence, saying, "Maybe my intercession will help him, Abu Talib, on the day of resurrection, so that he may be put in a shallow place in the fire, with fire reaching his ankles and causing his brain to boil." Volume 8, Book 76, number 570. Narrated by Anas. Allah's apostle said, "Allah will gather all the people on the day of resurrection and they will say, 'Let us request someone to intercede for us with our Lord so that he may relieve us from this place of ours.' Then they will go to Adam and say, 'You are the one whom Allah created with his own hands, and breathed in you of his soul, and ordered the angels to prostrate to you. So please intercede for us with our Lord.' Adam will reply, 'I am not fit for this undertaking,' and will remember his sin, and will say, 'Go to Noah, the first apostle sent by Allah.' They will go to him and he will say, 'I am not fit for this undertaking,' and will remember his sin and say, 'Go to Abraham, whom Allah took as a Khalil.' They will go to him, and request similarly. He will reply, 'I am not fit for this undertaking,' and will remember his sin and say, 'Go to Moses to whom Allah spoke directly.' They will go to Moses and he will say, 'I am not fit for this undertaking,' and will remember his sin and say, 'Go to Jesus.' They will go to him, and he will say, 'I am not fit for this undertaking, go to Muhammad as Allah has forgiven his past and future sins.' They will come to me and I will ask my Lord's permission, and when I see him, I will fall down in prostration to him, and he will leave me in that state as long as he, Allah, will, and then I will be addressed. Raise up your head, O Muhammad. Ask, and your request will be granted, and say, and your saying will be listened to. Intercede, and your intercession will be accepted. Then I will raise my head, and I will glorify and praise my Lord with the saying, i.e., invocation. He will teach me, and then I will intercede. Allah will fix a limit for me, i.e., certain type of people for whom I may intercede, and I will take them out of the hell fire and let them enter paradise. Then I will come back to Allah and fall in prostration, and will do the same for the third and fourth times till no one remains in the hell fire except those whom the Quran has imprisoned therein. The sub-narrator, Qatada, used to say at that point, those upon whom eternity, in hell, has been imposed. See Hadith number 3, Volume 6. Volume 8, Book 76, number 571. Narrated by Imran bin Hussein. The Prophet said, "Some people will be taken out of the fire through the intercession of Muhammad. They will enter paradise and will be called al-Jahannamiyan, the hell-fire people." Volume 8, Book 76, number 572. Narrated by Anas the mother of Haritha, came to Allah's apostle after Haritha had been martyred on the day of the battle of Badr by an arrow thrown by an unknown person. She said, "O Allah's apostle, you know the position of Haritha in my heart, i.e. how dear to me he was. So if he is in paradise, I will not weep for him, or otherwise, you will see what I will do." The Prophet said, "Are you mad? Is there only one paradise? There are many paradises, and he is in the highest paradise of Firdaus." The Prophet added, "A forenoon journey or an afternoon journey in Allah's cause is better than the whole world and whatever is in it, and a place equal to an arrow bow of any one of you, or a place equal to a foot in paradise is better than the whole world and whatever is in it. And if one of the women of paradise looked at the earth, she would fill the whole space between him, the earth and the heaven, with light, and would fill whatever is in between them, with perfume, and the veil of her face is better than the whole world and whatever is in it." Volume 8, Book 76, number 573. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, "None will enter paradise, but will be shown the place he would have occupied in the hell fire if he had rejected faith, so that he may be more thankful. And none will enter the hell fire, but will be shown the place he would have occupied in paradise if he had faith, so that may be a cause of sorrow for him." Volume 8, Book 76, number 574. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. I said, "O Allah's apostle, who will be the luckiest person who will gain your intercession on the day of resurrection?" The Prophet said, "O Abu Hurairah, I have thought that none will ask me about this hadith before you, as I know you're longing for the learning of hadiths. The luckiest person who will have my intercession on the day of resurrection will be the one who said, 'None has the right to be worshipped but Allah,' sincerely from the bottom of his heart." Volume 8, Book 76, number 575. Narrated by Abdullah. The Prophet said, "I know the person who will be the last to come out of the hell fire, and the last to enter paradise. He will be a man who will come out of the hell fire crawling, and Allah will say to him, 'Go and enter paradise.' He will go to it, but he will imagine that it had been filled, and then he will return and say, 'O Lord, I have found it full.' Allah will say, 'Go and enter paradise, and you will have what equals the world and 10 times as much, or you will have as much as 10 times the like of the world.' On that, the man will say, 'Do you mock at me, or laugh at me, though you are the king?' I saw Allah's apostle, while saying that, smiling that his premolar teeth became visible. It is said that will be the lowest in degree amongst the people of paradise." Volume 8, Book 76, number 576. Narrated by Abbas that he said to the Prophet, "Did you benefit Abu Talib with anything?"